I'm disgusted by my colleagues that fight so hard for the rights of people that have no business being here in the first place.
29 Americans lost their lives by people who have no business being here, guys. And the Democrats are still protecting them.
Sheridan Gorman, Katie Abraham, Chloe Polzin, Joselyn Nungary, Rachel Moran, Megan Boss, Elizabeth Medina, Dara Thompson, and many more. Say their names. Say their names. Sheridan, Katie, Chloe, Lincoln, Joselyn, Rachel, Megan, Elizabeth, and Dara. May you rest in peace. These are Americans. These are people's children, their family member, their friends. And every single one of the names that I just mentioned deserve the chance to pursue the American dream. Every last one of them deserve to grow up and build a future and live in a country that is safe, secure, and governed simply by the rule of law. The rule of law that I fought in combat to fight for every single American. Instead, these stories end in tragedy. These tragedies were preventable. And when Democrat leaders refuse to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, Americans bear the deadly consequences. And I'm disgusted by my colleagues that fight so hard for the rights of people that have no business being here in the first place. This should not be a political debate. We are talking about real people, real families whose lives cannot be replaced ever again. Entering the United States illegally does not create a right to remain here indefinitely. For whatever reason, this is a political football. It's very cut and dry. This is very simple to someone like me.
Absolutely.
Let's consider.
Listen, what's interesting is that I think that this should by default be the moderate position, but we'll talk later.
This has already been stated, but in just 10 months, New York released nearly 7,000 aliens subject to ICE detainers. We are talking about crimes that include 29 murders, 2,500 assaults, 200 burglaries, 300 robberies, and hundreds of assaults. And we are allowing these criminals and these animals back into our midst. Government's first responsibility is to protect our citizens. Anything less than that is a derelict of duty and a failure of leadership. And in this case, the intentional failure of leadership done by political purposes. Our chairman was speaking earlier during his opening remarks talking about 10 million people that have entered this country illegally that we know of. I've heard 15, I've heard 20.
Right, the numbers vary.
Damn how many it is. It's one too many.
Right.
And especially people that come here and maim our babies. This is what I get up and do this job every single day because I have babies too. And I see these pictures that are in front of me and I weep for you because I see my babies in these photos and it could have been one of mine as well. And if we don't do our jobs up here on Capitol Hill, we're gonna have more pictures, we're gonna have more murders, and we're gonna have more rapes. This is the bottom line.
This is a real American right here, guys.
This is not a partisan issue. Ms. Gorman,
it's not.
Mr. Abraham, I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to offer you my deepest condolences. Thank you so much for being here. And ma'am, I know this has to be very difficult, but you're doing it in the name of your baby. And she's looking down on you, and she is very, very proud of you for doing this, I can assure you. Sheriff, thank you very much for being here as well. Last year, sir, you did a Fox News interview in which you mentioned that under the direction of Gavin Newsom, you received a threatening letter from the Attorney General of California because of your pledge to work with law enforcement. Is this true, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
With my remaining time, sir, what would be your message to Governor Gavin Newsom and Democrat leaders across this country who persist with these homicidal sanctuary policies? And Sheriff, do you think that it is normal for the governor and attorney general of a state to tell a member of law enforcement to not cooperate with law enforcement?
That government?
No, I do not. It puts me in a very hard position, but once again, I will continue to do what I believe is right. And my message is really clear. In California, stop championing the criminals and let's start championing the victims, sir.
Amen. We're killing each other from within. That is how this country comes to an end, not from anybody from the outside, but because we allow 10 million people enter our country illegally, and then we make excuses for them after they murder our babies. That's insanity.
Purely.
No other country operates like that. Neither should we. I yield back the remaining of my time, and thank you all so much, and I offer you my deepest condolences. Thank you all.
Gentleman's time has expired. Mr. Grothman.
The talking points that consistently come from the left in terms of why they back the idea of illegal immigration, but then immediately ignore when things are actually happening, is they generally will say something like this: the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, right? That's generally an analogy that you generally hear. They're like, 90% of the people are, they're not going to go ahead and do these things. But that's not the point that's being made here. The point is that if you did not make it so it was comfortable for people to basically break into our country while then offering up sanctuary and free food and all these other free programs that they have never seen in the entirety of their life, okay? The fact that you're offering this up for free while knowing that on the back end, these type of things can consistently happen. Guys, I don't even grasp the mind of a person voting Democrat in 2026, right? Like large scale, not really. Like I feel bad for you almost. It's like, bro, how are you stuck in this mindset of thinking that every single thing basically needs to be given out for free? All right, for free. And we get no return. And if we do get a return, the return is this. This is what we get for having our country broken into. All right, sanctuary cities in the United States of America existing while not being able to do any of the things they're doing to our country in their country. Guys, we look foolish, right? Like we look completely foolish. I think until we can all, sit down in the same room, have an actual conversation without it divulging into like some random ridiculous binary. It's either you're this or you're this. Guys, we built this country on the ability to basically see both sides. Probably up until the last 2 decades where things, for the most part, went off the rails completely and everything became what it is now. Guys, we're not going to be able to fix things until we can actually sit down and actually come to terms with how things actually are, while completely throwing away the emotionality of the conversation. Okay, get rid of it. Both sides. Get rid of the idea of having this ridiculous emotional thing. Get rid of the ridiculous emotional responses here. Let's sit down and figure out, if we allow the people to break into our country, is it good for our country? Okay, not good for the Democrat voters because you're giving them everything. What will end up happening? I want more free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? I think Ted Cruz said it pretty recently here. I want free stores, right? Like they have in California, where you can just walk in and just take whatever you want and walk out type of thing, guys, right? Yeah, I get it. But that's not conducive to the longevity of our nation, guys. It's not. Like there's nothing conducive. There's not a single, this doesn't make much sense here, but listen, let me know in the comments what you guys think, please, all right? You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. But in the meantime, guys, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.